I wonder what Arsenio Hall is up to right now. He's probably at a cheese tasting, and he's really surprised by how good the cheese is. In fact, so surprised that he's getting mad at people for not telling him how good the cheese was going to be. Seriously, guys, if you don't get that reference, I mean, come on, man. Why are you on my channel? So, this is the aforementioned Arsenio Hall. And back during the early 90s, late 80s, I think late 80s, I'm not sure, like, the exact date when his late night show started. But this man, he had his own swag, his own style, and really brought the urban demographic to the forefront when it came to marketability and things of that nature. And on his show, he really, just broke a ton of ground. He was a pioneer in a lot of ways, and he deserves respect to this very second because he's still alive. He's still out there. And not just as a talk show host, though, he also did some acting, most notably in Coming to America, which is just classic. I think I've talked about this on this channel, I think multiple times, how much I love that film, and Arsenio Hall played Simi in it. Fantastic, just fantastic. So when you look at a Lily Singh and she's like, oh, we're breaking down all these barriers and all this other stuff, you know what Arsenio Hall never did was like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he did like once. He may have possibly done it once or twice. I do not remember every single episode of his show, but he really went out there just normalizing a new generation, you know what I'm saying, of brothers. The same way that I referenced in the Malik Yoba video. There was just like, okay, there was this fresh energy that was coming from him that really, that was connecting with a ton of folks. And so throughout the course of his show, he, had his fair share of issues arise, and this is one of them. And there's a very particular reason I am highlighting this, and not just because I came across the clip, but I was about to say crip. Oh, he's in all blue too. What? No. Not just because I just came across the clip, but because it illustrates that ultimately nothing that's happening right now, nothing that's happened over the last 3 years, nothing that you actually ever really experience in life is all that original.
The blonde girl is so funny while they were singing. She said, oh my God. It was so funny, so funny. Huh? I'm sorry, I can't hear you, man. Why?
And so they started coming at my man. It's the Alphabet Crew. And we're talking like, what, this 30 years ago? The Alphabet Crew coming out, starting a protest like, hey, why not? This is 30 years ago.
Don't I have any gay guests on my show? Wait, I'm sorry. Why don't I have any gay guests on my show? Well, there are a lot of gay guests who really don't like to talk about their sexual preference, so we don't know whether they're gay or not.
There you go. Because it is ultimately, it's a matter of intimacy, right? Like regardless, like if how do I put this? It's because there's like this thing called, I think, Rule 34. Any and everything that you can imagine in the erotic sense has definitely been thought of and is more than likely on the internet, right? I mean, shoot, you probably got another tab open right now. Deal is that these are things that are, when it comes to IRL, right, the real world, they don't need to be front and center. You don't need to know if your bus driver has, let's say, a foot fetish, or if you're you're the person behind the barista at Starbucks, if they like getting choked. That's literally nobody's business except for theirs, and you don't know those kinks because it's not something that's going to come up regularly. But here we are in 2019 where, the Equality Act went through Congress, and it's just like, oh, we're so wasn't it? And it's like, no. There is lines, and man, it just feels like that line keeps getting pushed, and it's been happening forever.
Now, Merv, you didn't think I'd run from this, did you? This ain't Johnny. I ain't gonna run from it. I'm gonna deal with it.
See, that's the thing. Go get him, bruh. Like, yo, like, this is like, I ain't scared of you, bruh, fam. What are you talking about? You hear him, right? Woo, 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 woo. Like, yeah, that was one of the most. Really? Queer Nation? I don't know. Why is this starting to feel like, really? Did you just rock that shirt? But either way. Oh, man. If you're not from America, or and you weren't around during that time, like the dog pound, it was a huge thing. So there's this movie called Robin Hood Men in Tights, where they actually go and that was derived from Mr. Arsenio Hall. It was a huge cultural thing. The type of cultural impact and cultural influence that Arsenio Hall had, Lily Singh wishes she could have. Seriously, oh my goodness, her sheets are soaked thinking that she could come anywhere near the type of cultural impact that Arsenio Hall had. And it's like, but the deal is that these arguments, these, shows of, like, hey, like this disruption, it's been going on for forever. And seriously, that shirt is just bugging me right now. Queer Nation. But the guy standing up next to him is actually clapping. Like, I'm confused.
Who would you like me to have on my show that's gay that maybe I haven't had?
Larry Kramer.
Who?
Gus Van Sant.
I don't know Gus Van Sant, but I know Elton John. He's been here and he's rocked the house.
Yeah.
Boom, done. It's just like, and no one cared. He was like, Gus Van Sant. Is that a director? I'm not sure.
Okay. What?
Harvey Fierstein.
When Harvey has something I'm interested in, I'll bring him on the show.
Because that's the thing. It got producers and it's a demographic, and the guy that Harvey, did he say Harvey Weinstein? Hold on. Did he say Harvey Weinstein?
What?
Harvey Fierstein.
When Harvey has something I'm
Okay, so Harvey Fierstein, I don't even know who that is. Comment section, knock yourself out.
interested in, I'll bring him on the show. But this is my show, okay? This is my show. This is my show. You understand? This is my show. This is my show, man. You think I haven't had somebody on the show because they're gay? What's wrong with you, man? I'm black. I'm black, man.
Man, that's so much different now than it was then back in the day. You used to be able to just like, yo, look, man, now, after Obama, right? And then they hit you with FBI, and then they hit you with FBI crime statistics. It's like, oh, yeah. That continue to, that were, of the same variety that they were back then. So, I mean, more things change, more they stay the same. But, like that same guy was the one that was clapping, right? And they were sitting there just like, oh, yeah, like really making a deal of it. When in all reality, it's like I said in the beginning of this video, that don't care. Like, it's not anyone else's business except for your own. And what a lot of people confuse that with is some type of societal oppression, when that's like the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, we passed marriage equality, and that's all I mean the other day. That said, only 5 years after passing marriage equality, we got LGBT being taught in schools. We got drag queens, story hours. We got drag kids. I mean, you're kind of proving, like alphabet folks, you're proving that the conservatives that was sitting there screaming, oh my goodness, this is going to just be a slippery slope. You're kind of proving them right. And that's like, bruh, fall back. Have you guys seen the parades? Whoa. Whoa, that's definitely not family friendly. Then you got there's like I think we really just need to stop taking the internet so seriously. Like not everything everyone says on this big wide thing should be given such a berth. Because I saw an article the other day where people were complaining that in Frozen 2 there wouldn't be they wouldn't make that one girl an alphabet character, and the deal is that in China they don't play the alphabet game, so they're like and they want to make as much money as possible. Man, corporate greed gets in the way of the agenda once again.
I'm black, man. I'm the biggest minority you know about. I don't want to hear that gay trash, man.
He called it gay trash. Like, yeah, like I don't want to hear it. You guys see that that commercial with Wanda Sykes where the guys was like, "Oh man, it's so gay, it's so gay," and she was like, "Oh, what do you mean? That's so gay." And the next, I don't like it, right? Deal is that there's never been a commercial like that when it comes to free speech where you have people sitting there saying, "Oh, don't say that." Like don't say this specific word, right? Like, I don't know. It's like there's always been some like PSAs with decorum. Hey, be kind, be friendly, and stuff like that. But it's never been a don't say that very specific word, except for that one right there. So I mean, seriously, me and Arsenio, we're just like in the same boat right now. And see, I really wish he didn't just put that blanket black statement on there, because you can be black, but shoot, it's no different than being white. There's there's like there's difference between race and ethnicity, or race and nationality. We're like so a Jamaican and a descendant, as I like to call us, we're two different things, really. No different than a Polish person and a Scottish person, right?
I got gay friends I've had on the show. Because you don't know them, or it ain't who you want on the show, you got a problem with it. If you want to book it, get yourself a show.
I mean, technically, that's a little unfair. I mean, not everybody's you, Arsenio Hall. Not all of us can get our own TV show. All right, so but he was definitely in the heat of the moment at that when he said that.
Sit down, so I can do the show. You've had your say and I've had mine.
Put the shades back on, because like I assume that this is something that had been going on for a while, and he just needed to get it off his chest. Tell him why you mad, son. Tell him why you mad. Honestly, you can kind of like rap feminist up with that as well, because intersectionality, right? What they've done is everybody decided, hey, much different than what Dave Chappelle suggested. Hey, everybody got hopped up in this car all together, and y'all wilding, and everybody's trying to be nice to each other, but everybody at the end of the day, the interests are different. They really are.
I apologize to you sitting out there and you sitting here. It's rude and it's out of order. The one thing I would not do is discriminate against a guest because of their sexual preference. To be honest with you, there are a lot of gay guests on this show, but it ain't none of your damn business that they're gay.
Bang. Bang. Right? It's just... I shouldn't have to... Well, yeah, actually, you should. It helps society a lot. All right, if you like your booty hole tickled, by all means. It's just not something that anybody else really needs to know, and decent folks know this. But we live in an age of degeneracy now, don't we? Either ways, guys, I think I've gone as far with this as I can go. all the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments, man? Like, this has been going on for forever. You'll always have people who don't like, like any aspect of you, but to sit there and lean on the identity angle of it is just like, stop. Cut it out. It's ridiculous. But you may feel differently, or you may have something. You may know somebody in your home country or whatever that is rather similar. Because this stuff, no idea is original. It's gonna continue no matter what. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until the next one.